of the Nation of Islam. Leave me the hell alone. Talking about you got guns. What you doing with guns? You ain't supposed to have no guns. Damn fool. I have been almost assassinated before. 4 or 5 shot down all around me. Me shot here, shot here. My son was 9 years old, then bullets flying all around him. We don't have the guns for black people. That's right. We don't have the guns for our own kind. We have the guns for the cracker, for the beast, for the devil, for the white man. But it's also a Negro repellent when necessary. And you don't think our people should have guns? Well, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, we shouldn't have no guns. Well, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't tell you to vote either. But if you find a way to vote, only way to get free, we got to get strong. This weak stuff is not going to do it. Don't go backwards, brothers and sisters. Don't let anybody take you backwards. Don't go back. Integration has failed. You have no business taking Elijah Muhammad's teaching and now following Wallace D. Muhammad back to the cracker's arms and his clutches. You can't get away from your black self, black man, black woman, trying to hide in white Arab Islam. Not as long as there's a breath in Khalid Abdul Muhammad. I will face your guns. I will face your bullets. I will face all of you bastards, and I'll back your asses up with the truth of Almighty. That's right. Damn it. That's right. You have no right to do these people that way. You have gotten old and scared, some of you, weak and broke down, or you want a little money now. You have no right to do these people that way. No right to do it. It's criminal to do it. Elijah Muhammad was right and exact. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. When the teachings of Elijah, whether you want to be a Muslim, black nationalist, and I'm that, Pan-Africanist, and I'm that, revolutionary nationalist, and I'm that, black liberation theology teacher, student, and I'm both student and teacher, whatever you call yourself. As long as Elijah Muhammad's teaching is strong among the people are strong. When you remove that strong teaching from among our people, our poor, pitiful people go down to almost nothing, and they go back to wallowing in the filth of integration, groveling at the feet of the white man, begging the white man for freedom and independence. When you tell them to stop calling the white man the devil, a whole generation has grown up that did not know that the white man was the devil. Another generation has gone to sleep that used to know that the white man was the devil. And so the best way to teach is to teach by repetition until the student has learned.
Look, I was talking with a sister one day, and she mentioned one of my ministers. And she said, you know, he was abused when he was young. I didn't say a word. But when she said that, I brought him up in my mind and I looked at him. Some of us are very authoritative because we're trying to be men because somebody did something to us. And in order to be men, when you're in a position of authority, you use it in a negative way to beat people down rather than help people up. She said that. I looked at my brother, and I hope that I'm not being out of place when I say this. I had a wonderful helper in Brother Khalid Muhammad. I met him as a student at Dillard University in Louisiana. He had a big medallion of Brother Malcolm on his chest. Oh God. and he came to the nation. Such a beautiful person inside. When he saw his brother in a bad shape, Khalid would go and sit down on the curb with him and talk to him and pick him up and bring him to the mosque and put him in the shower and get some clothes and put it on him. That's the kind of heart he had. But something was disturbing him. He didn't have the best relationship with his mother. He was in foster homes, and only God knows what happens to our children when they're in these places. And so he always felt that he had to be more macho than anybody else. And I tried to civilize him and tell him how you can be a statesman, but you want to fight all the time and, show off this kind of power. And I didn't realize that my brother was affected by some abuse. I grew up under Brother Malcolm. He was my mentor. I'm here because of him. He died that I might live. He was the first man, real man in my life. He had a problem with women. I never hit my wife until I became a Muslim. Because under Brother Malcolm, he wanted me to be a man, and to be a man meaning you had to take charge of your house. And so I was trying to take charge and treat my wife like a soldier. Malcolm had a problem with women. And if you read his autobiography and you read the latest book by Manning Marable, he never had a good relationship with his own mother. But when you don't know your mother and don't love your mother, you can't love nobody else. So nature makes you want a woman, but without love you don't know what to do with a woman after you get her. Now look, we're sick people now. I'm talking about healing. I'm not talking about preaching. I'm talking about healing. When I saw that and I looked at the nation of Islam is like a military line structure, and people in the military, they want to give orders, but they want to give them, like they're the master, and the person taking orders is like a slave. So I got up that morning, I said, I'm calling Reverend Alfredi. And when I called him, I said, brother, I want to talk to you because I realize there's sickness inside the nation, as there's sickness inside the church, sickness inside the mosque, sickness inside of us that has to be reached.
Yeah, peace. This is Bangham Reef. It's another edition of Rooftop Reflections. I guess you call this the midnight edition, but you already know the format. Basically the God standing over the metropolis, sharing a few things, shedding some light. But this particular edition specifically is about Minister Louis Farrakhan and his remarks concerning the late great Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Now these remarks was actually made on sometime in May 2011, so they were like over a year ago. And to be real with you, I never even caught wind of it because ever since that Scientology mess, I done tuned Louis out like a bad country music radio station. Ain't nothing dude was saying that I needed to hear or wanted to hear. But anyway, though, this is so outrageous and so incredulous that at this banquet, Louis Farrakhan gets before this crowd of, Christian clergy and these other clapping seals, basically still pushing this Dianetics BS. And of course he works Khalid Abdul Muhammad in now that he's become a colossal joke in the eyes of the free world, in the black community, in particular, I guess he needs some way to demystify Khaled, because now he's such a tragic joke. But what this man, you know, if I could use that term, had the audacity to say is fix his mouth to say that through some sister, quote unquote, he heard Khaled was molested, you know, as a youngster or as a child. I mean, that is so foul, so disgusting, so despicable. I mean, I thought Lewis couldn't sink any lower, but I guess, you know, obviously I was wrong. Nigga, what the hell is you thinking about? Even if we entertain the remote, ridiculous possibility of it being true, why would you even say it? But we know it isn't true because nobody in Khaled's family or his close associates or the people who really stood with him corroborated this BS. So you're going to stand before a bunch of clergy talking in soft, soothing tones like you so concerned about what possibly happened to him, or trying to curry favor and appeal to the emotions of these sisters in the audience that you, Mr. Care and give a damn about sexual abuse all of a sudden. Nigga, you need to come out the closet and tell us what it is you really trying to say, because you've been on this Oprah Winfrey kick now for a minute about all this sexual incest stuff. But anyway, this is just so disgusting for you to commit hearsay, which is against the restrictive laws on top of that. What do you expect to gain from that, yo? Are we supposed to gravitate towards you because now that you such a blatant sellout and embarrassment to black people across the globe, that we're going to see Khaled in some new light and come to you, or see some value in this goddamn racket called Dianetics that you being pimped to promote? Come on, yo. I mean, it's bad enough that you out here on fraudulent terms with your FOI, giving out LRH pamphlets promoting Scientology, Narcodon, every other goddamn silly ass program that they got going, and deceiving people so you can get this mass recruitment drive talking about you taking to the streets and you worried about the violence. Nigga, stop it. How dare you defile this man who you shitted on like you do most people around you. You wouldn't answer his calls for 5 years after he took a bullet in California, and you know exactly what that was about. You treated the man like he was in F class and wouldn't allow him to speak at the mosque after all the years he sacrificed, dedicated his life, and made you a household name among the rappers, the gang members, the people in the streets who make things happen, because Khaled was a real man who could connect with real people in the streets and in the fields. And no sooner than you make this ridiculous, crazy statement, yo, then you even go into Malcolm, talking about he didn't have the greatest relationship with women. Nigga, you got babies scattered all around the earth. But you didn't tell that to those 12,000 black women who went to see you in Atlanta in 1994. Nigga, you wouldn't dare tell them about all these illegitimate babies and multiple wives, and you trumping your wife, or one of them, Khadijah, out there like you the ideal marriage. Nigga, you got a cemetery in your closet. Fuck having skeletons. You foul. You fouler than pork. You're a hypocrite. You're disgusting, yo. You go into these lowly extremes, these savage extremes, to defame a man like Khaled Abdul Muhammad, who I've known, who I met several times, had plenty of conversations with, who I helped bury out there in Westchester when we left his funeral.